Coming up, equal learning environments cause the Iowa City School District to rethink their school zones. Stay tuned to see how this will impact the schools.
And later, see how you could win a chance to be published in this summer's edition of Iowa Magazine.
There is some breaking news in the Iowa wrestling world. Stay tuned for more.
We have a few days worth of precipitation coming to town. Your forecast right around the corner.
All that and more coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
So don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in to this November 28th edition of DITV. I'm Bo Bowman alongside Kaylin Clark.
Yes, good morning, and we start this morning with some news on the Iowa City schools potentially rezoning. We have
DITV reporter Susanna Closer in the studio with more. Susanna?
That's right. The school board discussed the rezoning of schools that would balance demographics and create equal learning environments for every student. The board vote impacts elementary schools the most because there are 21 in the Iowa City School District. The vote comes after the commission of 2 new elementary schools in 2015, Christian Grant in North Liberty and Hoover Elementary in Iowa City. With the Iowa City School District covering so much land, more rural areas have a lower attendance, like Grantwood Elementary at 60% capacity compared to Kirkwood Elementary, which is over capacity at 119%. The elementary schools that are at overcapacity in the Iowa City School District contain a large diversity of student population. The rezoning of these schools over time has created a segregation by demographics of students who did or did not receive free and reduced lunch, English language learners, students who qualify for special education needs, and students who fall below the poverty line. Vice President of the School Board of the School of Education, Paul Rosler, said, quote, "We really want our schools to reflect the outside world. We're not really doing that. We're trying to break the cycle by giving all kids opportunities to learn," end quote. The rezoning of schools has created an instability in the families with children in elementary schools who have had to change schools in the past 2 years. The school board said they are moving towards better school zoning, but it's not perfect yet. Kaylin and Bo, back to you.
The president of the Board of Regents has contributed to funds for Republican candidates this election cycle. Daily Iowan managing editor Marissa Payne is in the newsroom to tell us more. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning, Kaylin.
So then, who has the president of the board been contributing to?
Regent President Mike Richards has contributed to Governor Kim Reynolds, Representative Steve King of the 4th Congressional District, Senator Joni Ernst, and Acting U.S. Attorney General Matt Whitaker's U.S. Senate Campaign Committee, among a slate of other state and federal Republican candidates.
And then, is there an Iowa Code of Ethics that they should follow?
There's nothing in Iowa Code that bars regents from any particular political activity. Ultimately, giving campaign contributions is within the regent's First Amendment rights, with contributions being a form of political speech, so this action is completely within the law.
And then, has there been any suspicion raised while they're doing this?
People have been skeptical of the political nature at times of some regents' behavior, particularly when it comes to contributing to gubernatorial candidates, because governors appoint regents. Democrats have made legislative attempts as recently as 2015 to try to elect at least 8 of the 9 regents, but attempts have not been successful.
Marissa Payne in the newsroom, thank you.
University of Iowa student government is giving an additional $7,500 to the Hawkeye Completion Grant Program. This grant helps students with $100 or more of overdue charges on their university bill, and overdue charges restricted students from registering for classes or receiving their degree. Earlier this year, the UISG has distributed $30,000 to the program. The additional $7,500 is designed to help the Office of Student Financial Aid, who give annual funding for the grant. This grant has positively impacted the UI graduation rates over the past year.
UI has no plans to change its treatment of sexual assault cases despite proposed changes from the Secretary of Education. Nearly 2 weeks ago, Betsy DeVos released a proposal for changes to Title IX. Specifically, she is hoping to increase rights for students accused of sexual assault and sexual misconduct. In a statement, the Title IX coordinator for the UI, Monique DiCarlo, said, quote, "The University of Iowa will follow its current policies until it has conducted a thorough review of the proposed Title IX regulations on sexual misconduct for higher education institutions," end quote. While DeVos' proposal would give new suggestions for handling cases, universities would still be able to decide how to handle each case. For more information on the proposal and resources in Iowa City, visit dailyiowan.com.
President Trump is asking Congress for $5 million in funding for the border wall with Mexico. GOP Senator Lindsey Graham spoke Tuesday on the president's goals for the funding.
Secure the border is going to be a bottom line for the president. He's got a $25 billion plan. I don't think he expects to get $25 billion all at once. But he does expect to get $5 billion, like the House authorized, without a bunch of strings attached.
Spending bills must receive 60 votes to pass in the Senate. This may represent a hurdle, as right now Republicans hold just 51 seats. So in order for the bill to be passed, it must gain some support from Democrats.
Although it is not winter break yet, but it seems like Iowa City is in full-on winter mode.
Oh, geez, yeah, it's cold out there today. Students, you might want to bundle up out there on your way to class. Let's toss it over to Jacob in the weather studio to see just how cold it is.
Unfortunately, today is not the only day we have to worry about, but we'll start with today since that makes sense. Today we are looking at cloudy skies with a high of 29 degrees. The cloudiness will continue into the night with your temperature only dropping down to around 22 degrees. A cold yet mild day compared to what we have in store for the rest of the week. Taking a look at your extended forecast, Thursday is looking a little bit better with a high of 35 and a low of 32. The mostly cloudy skies will be around for Thursday and will continue on into Friday as temperatures stay above freezing in the mid to low 30s. Moving into your Friday night and into your Saturday morning, a low pressure system will bring some light to medium rain in the area with your day temps reaching up into the lower 40s. We are expecting nearly a 100% chance of rain right around 6 a.m. with wind gusts maxing out at around 20 miles per hour. Though the wind will simmer down around over the weekend, the rain will remain a subtle factor until Sunday night, where temperatures drop down below freezing, coincidentally transforming that rain into heavy sleet and possibly even snow. This will, of course, make the roads very slick and dangerous at moderate speeds, so be careful out there if you're doing any plans like shopping or dining out around the town. That's all I have for you here in the weather studio. Good luck, guys, and back to you, Bo and Kaylin at the desk.
Some local restaurants have started decreasing the usage of straws. Pullman Bar and Diner is trying to decrease their carbon footprint by not distributing straws, and they brought mason jars with siplets to eliminate the need for one. Big Grove Brewery is taking part in the hashtag Suckless movement at both the Solon and Iowa City locations by not using straws. The businesses are trying to decrease the amount of waste they use. These restaurants encourage others to contribute to the trend.
This February, anyone can come out and test their creative writing ability in a 48-hour contest. The University of Iowa Center for Advancement is hosting a short story competition on February 9th. Participants will have 48 hours to complete their stories. The winning story will be published in the summer 2019 issue of Iowa Magazine. They will also win some gift cards. Registration is open now on the UI Center for Advancement's website and will close February 6th. Lobo, we have some wild news in the world of wrestling and basketball, and you're here to fill us in on that.
Yep, I'll be back in the sports segment, but first let's toss it over to John for some basketball scores. John?
Yeah, that's right. Last night, the Hawks had fans in Carver on their feet. The number 14 ranked Hawks hosted Pittsburgh in what was a very chippy matchup. A made three and a foul from Macy Daly and a solid corner three from Joe Wieskamp tied the game up at 37 in the first half. But it was after a missed layup put back by Tyler Cook when the Hawks took control. After three consecutive three-pointers made by Nicholas Baer, the Hawks extended the lead to 69-66. The game ended in a missed final shot, giving Iowa the win 69-68.
No, I mean, definitely happy we were able to come out with the win. When we look at how we performed in the first half versus how we were able to play in the second half, really proud of our second half. Credit to Pittsburgh. They were able to come out and really execute their game plan. We knew they wanted to get downhill and try to get to the rim, and they did a fantastic job of that.
We know that we're going to have a lot of close games moving forward throughout the season, so we'll definitely just kind of learn from this and take pieces from this moving forward.
The Hawks will be back in Carver Hawkeye Arena on Friday night to take on the Wisconsin Badgers in the Big Ten season opener. Now, there's some bad news out of wrestling yesterday. Head coach Tom Brands announced that 174-pounder Michael Kemmerer will undergo season-ending surgery. We have the man with the best running shoes in DITV, sports director Bo Bowman, now live in the newsroom with more. Good morning, Bo.
Good morning, John.
So, Bo, how big of an impact is it on the wrestling team that Kemmerer's gone?
Well, the impact is huge. Kemmerer's been super consistent over the past 2 years. He's 60-6 over that time, which is about as good as it gets. The only wrestler out there who's consistently beat him is Penn State's Jason Nolf. He's a two-time All-American, placing 3rd and 4th at Nationals, which is why he's ranked 6th headed into this season, even though he bumped up 2 weight classes. And the team is definitely going to miss him headed into their Big Ten slate.
As far as Michael Kemmerer goes, our attention is on him, on what his needs are, and this team on what its needs are, and every individual on what their needs are. And that's our focus every day, and that doesn't change because there's a crisis.
Losing Kemmerer is kind of a big hit, but we've got a lot of capable guys in the room, so a lot of guys that can stand up and maybe make up for the points that we weren't getting from Kemmerer.
He's a real good leader. Just big shoes to fill, and we always got to be ready for whatever is out there. So you never know, so everybody's got to be ready.
So, Bo, he's out for the year. What's next for Kemmerer?
Well, the next step for Kemmerer is going to be to apply for a medical redshirt, get that 6th year of eligibility, and it wouldn't be the first time it happened. Tom Brand sounded like it was pretty likely that it was going to happen, and he's ready for it. It's happened before. Iowa State's got one there now. Willie Meeklis, who's transferred from Mizzou. It happened last year when Jason Surtis won the national championship with Arizona after transferring from Northwestern. And then, of course, Richie Lewis, who Iowa fans are all too familiar with from last year.
Bo Bowman, live in the newsroom. Thank you. And yesterday, the Big Ten front office released their first half of all conference honorees, and there were several Hawkeyes on the list. Junior Amani Hooker was named the Tatum Woodson Big Ten Defensive Back of the Year, and sophomore wide receiver Amir Smith-Marset was named the Rogers Dwight Return Specialist of the Year. Along with that, A.J. Epinesa was named first-team All-Big Ten by the media, and junior Anthony Nelson was named second-team All-Big Ten by the media. Matt Nelson, Jake Gervas, Miguel Racinos, Parker Hesse, and Geno Stone all earned honorable recognition. Later today, the Big Ten will announce their offensive award winners. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from the Iowa women's basketball team and how they're preparing to take on a top-ranked team in the nation. Guys at the desk, back to you.
The creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, Steven Hillenburg, died this past Monday at the age of 57.
Hillenburg announced last year that he was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. His show, SpongeBob SquarePants, has been on the air since 1999.
Hillenburg said he intended to work on the show for as long as possible. SpongeBob SquarePants won numerous awards and had aired in more than 200 countries.
So many good childhood memories tied to that show.
I know.
He will be missed.
My mom never let me watch the show, so I had to do it when she was out of the house, but...
You can appreciate it now.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for tuning into this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
And be sure to head over to DailyIowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm Kaylin Cluck.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place.